It's heartbreaking news to learn that your child is diagnosed with a congenital heart defect, and parents usually don't know what to expect in the days, months, or years to come. Jack Hansen was born 7 weeks early in October of 2009 and was diagnosed with a rare congenital heart defect and is the inspiration for Jack of All Hearts, founded by his mother, Laura Hansen, who is here today with pediatric cardiologist Dr. Alan Friedman from Yale New Haven Children's Hospital. I want to thank you both so much for being here. Now, doctor, right off the bat, how common are these heart defects in newborns?
Well, congenital heart disease is the most common of all the birth defects, and it affects just about 1 in 100 children. About half of all cases that we see at birth are minor and require just follow-up with a pediatric cardiologist. But the other half are what we consider major heart diseases, and they require treatment, often surgery.
Okay, and that was in Jack's case. Laura, bring me back to the day he was born. What was going through you and your husband's head? I could only imagine.
Well, the day he was born was difficult. We had found out in utero. I was 5 months pregnant when we found out, so we went through several echocardiograms, and we weren't sure what to expect, of course. The day that he was born was 7 weeks early, so that kind of threw things for a loop.
I bet. We're looking at a picture at him right now. That's baby Jack.
That was at his, he was 5 months old. That was his first of the upcoming couple of surgeries he'll end up with. He had gone through a few different procedures by that point, but we were able to hold off till 5 months old on his surgery.
And how did you end up at Yale New Haven Hospital? Because originally you were from Florida.
Right. Well, we had heard a lot about the children's program at Yale and the pediatric cardiology program, and we got up and started to make our move. We wanted to come down and be treated here. So it was a fantastic program, Dr. Friedman. I spoke with him often on the phone from Orlando, where we were at that time, and he was great. He guided us through, and we made our move. We took a 28-hour drive down with the babies, both babies, and came up to Yale. So.
Oh, great. Well, Dr. Friedman, we have a model of a heart here. If you could explain to me what is going on with Jack's heart condition.
Sure. I think to understand Jack's heart condition and other children like Jack, first it's important to know and understand what the heart does. And of course it's the pump in our body that sends the oxygenated or red blood to our body and the blue blood without oxygen to our lungs. So on this heart model we see the 4 chambers of the heart. There's a receiving chamber on the right and a pumping chamber on the right. And this right ventricle pumps blood into the lungs. And then once it receives the oxygen in the lungs, it returns to the left atrium here, a receiving chamber, and then crosses into the left pumping chamber, known as the left ventricle. The blood is then ejected out into the body through the aorta, which is the major blood vessel that delivers oxygenated blood to all of our organs.
Okay.
Now, in children like Jack who have heart defects, sometimes they have a large hole in the middle of the heart, and sometimes they're born without a valve, or sometimes even without a chamber of the heart. They may, in fact, be missing one of the main pumping chambers. And so our job at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital in pediatric cardiology is to help children missing those parts of their heart to lead healthy and normal lives.
And that requires surgeries, I would assume?
Right. So very often we start our relationship with the patient and the family even before birth. We have a very active fetal diagnostic program at Yale. And as our patients are born, we work very closely with their families, of course, and our multidisciplinary team to make a strategic management plan so that we can allow them to grow and develop. Sometimes that requires medicines. Sometimes that requires procedures like a cardiac catheterization to open up a valve or to close a hole. And sometimes it requires surgery, like in Jack's case, to help provide blood flow to the lungs where he didn't have that when he was born.
Okay, so you kind of make a plan with the families more or less.
Absolutely.
As the babies are born. Laura, tell me, I think right off the bat, how is Jack now?
Jack's doing great. He's like any other 15-month-old baby. He's walking and talking, and he's fantastic. He's a miracle. We like to call him our miracle. So.
Absolutely. Tell me about the organization you started.
Jack, of course, was our inspiration, but our plan was to help children and families with congenital heart disease, and we have various fundraisers. We teamed with Yale to help cardiac fellowship program get started.
I believe we just saw a picture of a group of you on a lawn. That must have been a fundraiser.
That was actually our board of directors for Jack of All Hearts. And we had our annual walkathon last year, our first annual walkathon last year, where we raised over $10,000, and that was from the walkathon.
We know Jocelyn is also involved in the organization.
She is. She's our honorary chairperson. She's been a big help in. She came out to our walkathon last year as well.
Oh, terrific! How can people get involved?
Well, we have upcoming fundraisers. We're always looking for volunteer help, of course, and there's several ways to help us to. Make some money towards the donate some money towards the foundation. We have Good Search and Good Shop online. If you're doing online shopping and you do it through Good Shop or Good Search, a percentage of the profit comes to our foundation. It doesn't cost anything extra for the merchant, of course. So that's a great way. Magazine subscriptions, if you're up to renew a subscription, you do it through them. We earn 40% of the proceeds.
That's terrific.
So we've got some upcoming events as well, where we have a Rockettes game coming up.
Oh, tell us about that. How exciting!
The tickets are $8. It's going to be on April 17th. We're going to be playing the Red Sox affiliate.
Okay.
And it's also the Ringling Barnum and Bailey Circus Day, fun day at the stadium. So it's going to be a lot of fun for the families. The game's at 1:35 in the afternoon. Tickets are $8, where 50% of all the proceeds go to us. So it will be great.
Well, get everyone out there. Then all the information was on your screen there. Dr. Frieda, I want to thank you for coming in, and Laura, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. And coming up next, we'll meet up with Jocelyn. She's in the kitchen with Chef Tony Mavuli from the Inn at the Villa Bianco. Don't go anywhere. Connecticut Style will be right back.